Hello, you are welcome again to our 21 days Bible challenge. Today is day 7, and I believe God and I trust God that the challenge is going on well and you have been consistent with your Bible reading. The last time we're looking at every action has a corresponding or chain reactions that we most times are oblivious to. For today, we are looking at something that triggers that reaction, and I call it choice. Choice is one of man's greatest weapon. My father in the Lord, Apostle Aaron Osai, wrote a book to that effect. Choice, man's greatest tool in changing nations. Territories are changed by choices. Territories are condemned to destruction by choices, and individuals' lives are ruined by choices. Today we want to look at a choice as pertains to the story of Ruth. One decision she made that completely changed the course of not just her life, but the life of her beloved mother-in-law Naomi. Quickly, the book of Ruth, chapter 1, from verse number 6. The Bible says, "Then she arose with her daughters-in-law, Naomi now, that she might return from the country of Moab. For she had heard in the country of Moab how that the Lord had visited his people in giving them bread." Quickly, you realize that she didn't come to Moab by her own choice per se. She just followed her husband to the country of Moab, and calamity struck. The man she followed into Moab died, her 2 sons died, and she was left with a precarious situation that demanded a choice. Peradventure, you find yourself in a situation where it wasn't your making. For example, you found yourself in Nigeria. I want to assure you it's not your making. You found yourself in a family that maybe a polygamous family is still not your making. You found yourself in a community where there might be clashes, there might be all form of social vices. I want to tell you, it's not your making. The same way Naomi too followed her husband as a humble, obedient wife. She followed him down to Moab, and calamity struck. But she had a choice, and I tell you, you also have a choice. The Bible said, I read again, "Then she arose with her daughters-in-laws that she might return." There's always a time for a choice, and the choice is always the choice to return. The Bible says the prodigal son found himself struggling to eat that which was served to pigs, and he came to his senses and said, "I will return." I speak to someone here listening to my voice. I think it's time for you to make that choice. And the first choice to make is the choice to return. I know you might have found yourself, maybe you are a cultist, you were dragged into it without your consent. You went for a party and then calamity struck and you were initiated. I want to tell you, you can return. There's always a choice for man to return. We were born in sin of Adam. I didn't bargain to be born in sin, but I found myself. David said, "In sin was I conceived, in sin did my mother conceive me. In iniquity was I formed." But there's always a choice later in life to make. Any situation you find yourself, you will never ever say you don't have a choice. It's just that many times we don't like the outcome of our choices. But I want to assure you today that you always have a choice. Naomi got up and said, "I will return." For today, we are looking at choice, and the choice is return back to your maker. You can still return. The door is always open. Return back to your maker. Like Naomi, return back to the house of bread and leave the city of Moab alone. God bless you. See you again tomorrow. Stay blessed.